I'm obsessed with the Otamatone, and I have been for many years, just watching the many cover song music videos on YouTube. This iconic little, or not so little at times, instrument is shaped like a music note, and you play it by pressing on the stem and squeezing its mouth. The Otamatone comes in many different models and sizes and designs and colours, and even collaborations with mascot characters, Vocaloid and cartoons. My favourite thing about the Otamatone is probably how people kinda treat them like a sentient little being. People name their Otamatones, they feed them, and they have their own personalities. And in this Otamatone melody showcase video, the musicians make them do a little bow before every performance. I've always been interested in getting one and learning how to play it, but I just never did. Until today. So after years of hesitating for no reason, I finally got my very own Otamatone. It might seem like a gimmicky, silly instrument, but people can play really amazing bangers with them. And it even got the golden buzzer on Spain's Got Talent in 2021. On the 2023 edition though, they didn't like it quite as much. But even then, they didn't hate it as much as the panel on 2024's American season. There's a whole video by Sully, one of the musicians, that goes into what happened leading up to that performance. For my own little sentient being, I've named it Red Deluxe, and it dreams of becoming the prima donna someday. It's not the most creative name out there, but it just sounded like a stage name to me. Anyways, let's get to practicing. To start, I just searched for a tutorial on YouTube and clicked on the first result, which happens to be a guide by Moshi Bass. I just followed along and practiced for about 20 minutes. Honestly, I felt like I already made amazing progress. Still not great, but I feel like I could just go out there and learn another song immediately. Slight tangent, but the only musical background I have is pretty much all in primary school, and they taught us how to play the piano and a little bit of the ukulele. And I was also in the angklong ensemble CCA for like 4 years. The angklong is a bamboo percussion instrument from the Sundanese in Indonesia, and you play them by holding onto the top of the instrument and shaking the side. So each individual angklong is like a single note, and you can be in charge of one note in the ensemble, or a few notes, or whole scale if you are playing them while they are hanging on the stands. Anyway, in the ensemble we have 3 sections: melody, tenor and bass. So the melodies have the smallest angklongs and the bass has the largest ones. And the instructor would usually put the younger kids to melody and the older kids to the tenors and bass, since they are like bigger size and have more strength to play them. But for some reason I was always stuck at melody. Until the last year of primary school, when my instructor finally drafted me into the tenors. Probably because I looked super weak, which I am, so I guess she's not wrong, but I stuck out like a sore thumb. Little did my primary school self know that this was actually a blessing in disguise. Because in my hands I have all these melody scores from the songs that we played back then, and I wouldn't have them if I was put into the tenor section. So I already have a bunch of songs that's like transcribed for me, and I can just start learning them. The songs are really short, like half a page each. And if I could play this in primary school, they should be beginner friendly enough for me to play them now. If not, that would be really embarrassing. For now, I'm just going to determine the position of each note on the Otamatone by referencing the bolts on the back of the instrument, and also having a tuning application to check if it's somewhat correct. And we'll just see how this turns out. So there's 2 folk songs and another one that is made in the 70s. Maybe you've heard of them. And with that, Red Deluxe is gonna take the stage. Okay, that's not exactly in tune, so I'll need to use a more accurate guide for the position of each note. What the creator recommends is using a tuning app, and then you just press on the Otamatone stem until you find the correct note, and then mark out the whole scale using stickers. But I kind of want the markings to be like toggleable somehow. If I haven't practiced with the Otamatone for a while, I might forget the positions of all the notes on the Otamatone, and I don't want to reapply the stickers each time. Also, I personally don't like leaving stickers on my device because they can become crusty after a while and gross. Or I might over rely on them and like keep referring to it while I'm playing, so I can't really know if I actually do know how to play the song, if that makes sense. So my plan is to just use a string of beads and then have each bead represent each note. There's D-rings at the ends of the stem, and it's meant for the shoulder strap that comes with the Otamatone deluxe models, but I can just hook the string of beads to it. This is what I have so far, but I'm gonna restart this because I choose to make the strap with a type of crochet stitch that stretches a lot. So as I continue to work on the strap, it will become heavier and then it will stretch even more and the beads won't be in the right place. I don't know why I made the strap wider than it needs to be, since the width doesn't matter for marking out the notes, so yeah. Okay, so this is my second attempt. It's working a little bit better since it doesn't stretch, but for the bottom part here, the beads are packed too tightly, so the strap is just curling on itself. But the top 70% of the strap is still usable. It's not too bad. This is my third attempt, and I made the strap even thinner. I also ran out of some bead colours, so I just cut out my previous attempt to salvage the beads. And there's also less curl when packing the beads closely together. The only issue is that towards the bottom of the Otamatone, the notes are way too close to each other and the beads aren't small enough to mark out all the notes accurately. But I'll just finish it and then get to practicing. I made another one using small beads, and it works way better. I should have just done this from the get-go, but yeah, I wasted a lot of time, I guess. I will try practicing with this, and hopefully this strap actually helps. Even before I got Red Deluxe, I knew that the first song I wanted to learn is the Tomodachi Life Opera song. This is the song that plays in my head anytime that I fucked up, because the first line is just applicable to everything.
Oh, what have I done?
Red Deluxe's first gig didn't have the best reception, but I've scheduled another one in 10 days, so hopefully that's enough time for preparations. I am just gonna do a single take, and maybe the pressure will really make me nail it on the first go. I'll be using this piano cover by Brady Schultz to determine the score for Red Deluxe to sing. Additionally, I'm only practicing for about 30 minutes to an hour every day, which is not a lot, so we'll see what happens.
What have I done? My dreams came undone. Beneath the wretched sun, I alone, I need a rock to call my own. In your sweet gift, I'll find my grave. You'll take me from this rock, and together we shall embark on an eternity
It didn't go that well. I took a few more tries afterwards, but it felt like it got worse and worse for some reason. So I decided to just call it a day and do a redemption performance tomorrow. Okay, finally I managed to play it the whole way through with minimal mistakes. It still could use a lot more practicing, but we celebrate the small wins here. Thanks for attending Red Deluxe's concert, and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And hope to see you at the next one. Bye!